Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the St. Margaret's Centre as we have some Nova Scotia U15 Major Hockey League action going on today as it's the Rage visiting the Gulls here on opening weekend. A couple teams on the opposite side of the Chennai to start the year as the Gulls dropped their first matchup last night in Harbour 4-1, and the Gulls scored 10 goals in Dartmouth last night to get the win. This will be the Gulls' first home game of the season. Rage first game on the road. My name is Mason tonight here with High Button Sports. Thank you for watching today as puck is dropped, and here we go. Gulls and Rage here on a Sunday afternoon at the St. Margaret's Centre as we played through the middle. Intercepted by Trudell. As they go up ahead looking for Price, but intercepted by Henneberry. Puck will be right there on the blue line, played back. Here is Davis Henneberry. So go D to D over to Che Ruiz. As puck there turned over, here's Douglas. Douglas looking to get into the zone, and he will, but knocked out the puck by Hayden Trudell, number 88. Puck played towards the opposite zone. Here is Ruiz behind his own goal. Ruiz will go up the head as Price gets a piece of him. Cross ice passing for Douglas. He'll go off his skate all the way down. That'll be our first whistle of the game. Gulls can't change off the icing call. The Rage will send out fresh troops, trying to catch the Gulls here. As number 30, Wyatt Esbaugh getting his first start of the season, the veteran netminder for the Gulls, played last year as well. Well, Colson Gold on the other side, number 00 in whites, making his U15 major debut here at the SMC. As Carroll trying to hold the line, but that will escape the zone. Sent down the ice there, looking to spring Miller Candace. Watch out here! Gold nearly gave it right back to him. There's a dangerous chance there off the hop for the Gulls. That's off the bench. Looking to get that in deep. As here is Lokua Calvert to go back to his D partner. It's going to be played up ahead for Grayson Sears, who gets a piece of Norris there right into the Rage bench. Sears had 3 goals and 3 assists last night to lead the charge for the Gulls over in Dartmouth. That's here's Levi. Levi will fire one from distance. That's going to be the first save of the night for Colson Gould. As they'll cover up, there'll be no rebound into the glove. Minute and 20 has gone so far in this first frame. We'll play a 15-minute period to start things off. No flood, then 2 20s. A flood intermission between the second and third. As up the face-off, Levi looking for it, escapes the zone. Is due for the Gulls. As they'll play it back for Sears. Grayson Sears over to Sergeant Greenwood. Greenwood up for Levi, looking to find Sears there, but Mayo on the forecheck, disrupting that breakout attempt. Gulls get the puck right back. Here is Sears, sends it in deep. We'll get his own dump in as he'll get to the puck first behind the net. Sears has some space, takes it up the half wall. Here's Grayson Sears, the assistant captain, try to feed Dufour there in the backdoor play, but just a little ahead of him. Rage will take over. Here's Charlie Lewis behind his own net. The veteran defenseman will go up the wall, looking to find Nash Donaldson, but just out of his reach. Lewis will get the puck once again. Charlie Lewis, number 77 in white today for the Rage, has the puck through the crease dangerously as he'll turn it over there. Puck on the stick now of Donaldson, looking to poke it away as Mayo comes free. His shot is on from Cranston. That's going to be stopped by Gould. Rebound was up in the air. Unable to control that one was Zwicker. First look at home ice here for the Bodog as he has a backhand shot, just goes over the net there. As you can tell why he scored over 100 goals last season for the Tassa Ducks in the U13 AAA League. This guy can play. As here is Pelham up top. As he'll get knocked out the puck by Donaldson. Greenwood there to recover the puck. As he'll go D to D. Back to Greenwood. As he'll circle back in his own zone. Rage will make some changes. Here is Greenwood looking to start the rush here out of his own end. Greenwood backhand over across. Ends up on the stick of Pelham. Pelham will look to weave his way through there on the entry, but Lucas Dando there with a stick. They're going to be sent towards the opposite zone. Back to retrieve is Kennedy. Paxton Kennedy has it upon the net. Pass up ahead. Here come the Gulls now in transition as Pelham just out of his reach for that pass as Trudell will knock it right back up the wall. Here is Austin Crawford, the Tassa native, playing in his home rink here for the first time this season as a member of the Rage. As Donaldson will look to poke it in deep. It's going to be sent the other way. Picked up by Bryce Carroll as he'll fall down on the zone entry there. As back to retrieve it is Trudell behind his own goal. Trudell will slow things down here as we're about 3.5 minutes into this first period. Up the wall, finds Jake McPhee. McPhee looking to get out of the zone, but right there was Sears. As here comes Grayson Sears weaving his way through over a cross. It's going to be sent towards the opposite corner by McKinnon. And in the forecheck there, a couple of Gulls players get a piece of Trudell. Puck comes free from McPhee. McPhee looking to flip it through the middle there, but Ruiz and Bourgogne colliding there on neutral ice. As Rage have a step here is McPhee as he gets hit into the boards. Puck comes free for the Gulls over a cross. That's going to go off the stick of Cruz Baldwin. Good defensive play there, but Gulls get it right back. Here's Ruiz. Ruiz went to the zone on the right side, has Sears with him over cross. Shot is on from McKinnon, stopped from Gould. 0-0 makes the save there in tight. As off the turnover, Calvert off the bench gets a piece of it, but Bryce Carroll recovers. This will enter the zone, but gets stripped of the puck. Pass back for Dufour. The Gulls will regroup here. Pass to the middle. It's going to find Cannon, who will dump it in deep. Picked up by Nathan Norris. He'll go off the board. It's going to clear. It's going to be kept in by the Gulls. As Cannon has it now, here's Lakua Calvert. Nice dangle into the corner there, but ends up off his stick as Carroll will take over. Carroll over to Baldwin. Pass up the middle. It's going to be picked up by the Gulls. Here's Dufour. He's going to weave his way through off a stick. Comes free as Arsenal looking to clear. Ends up at the red line for Henneberry as he'll circle back in neutral ice. Davis Henneberry down the right side over to Douglas. He'll enter the zone. Douglas has some space here. He'll hold the puck. Puck shot is on. It's going to be stopped. That was a great play from Douglas to center that puck. And Gould comes up big there and tight with the save. There'll be no rebound. A couple shoves being exchanged after the whistle, but no penalties come out of it. You want to talk about penalties. The Rage took a couple last night, 9 in total, down to Cole Harbour. It was a pretty undisciplined showing for Mitch Hamilton and his squad last night. They're looking to be a little more contained here today. As here is Greenwood. He'll counter it back. That was nearly turned over as Mayo was in on the forecheck. A dangerous no-look pass from Sergeant Greenwood. One thing about number 4 in black is he likes to be flashy. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. As Chancellor the other way is able to get back in time as Lewis for the Rage. As Dando had to hop off over his stick. Puck is bouncing for Chevry. As Greenwood will play it off the wall. Levi looking to get into the zone. It's going to be offside. And that will stop play once again here. But I'll finish my thought. The Rage, pretty undisciplined showing last night in the home opener. They were in the penalty box a lot. You could definitely say it cost them that game. As off the face-off, here's Pelham. Looking to play it back for Kennedy. Kennedy has Nakai Simon right on him, able to make the play up the wall. Picked up by Lewis. Lewis has the puck in neutral ice, looking to play it back up the boards. Here's Charlie Lewis on the backhand over to the partner Dando. Dando up the middle there looking for Mayo, but he wasn't ready for that pass. And that will go all the way down for an icing call. As the Gulls can make some changes here. Rage cannot off the icing. Still no score here at the SMC. Great crowd on hand here today. The Gulls opening home game. Jolly Moore against Mayo here for the draw. We'll drop the puck. One back by the Gulls. Here's Ruiz at the blue line. Gets the return pass. Will fake the shot. And so shoot one off now because blocked in front. Rebounds there. Shot stopped by Gould as well. Get the rebound. Puck into the corner. Looking to clear Simon. Got hopped over his stick. Shot is blocked from Simon. As puck is behind the net. Pass in front there. Goes off the pad of Gould. Puck to the line. Sent in deep. Chevry looking for it. As looking to get loose there, the Gulls. Here comes Dando off the turnover. Lucas Dando will lead the rush for the Rage. He'll go skate to stick. Let's look at hit there on the zone entry on the back check was Jollymore getting a piece of Dando. Chevry will send it back in towards the zone. Here is Jollymore once again. Finds Ruiz in transition. Here's Che Ruiz on the left side as he has Mayo back checking on him, able to get the puck off his stick. Is number 90 in white, the veteran forward. Here's Henneby up top. Henneberry will send it in deep. There's Carroll giving chase. Pass in front there by Cranston was a beauty, but unable to get a piece of that one with his stick was Zwicker, who had 2 goals last night for the Gulls. Had a great start to his rookie season, and here is Cranston. Makes his way through on the back end now. Forehand now, weaving up top. Pass over there. I saw the reach of Dufour. As puck behind the net now. Gulls have possession. Here's Greenwood up top. Greenwood, DD pass for Dufour. Dufour will fire one towards goal. It's going to be tipped just wide. As here come the Rage now. Crawford has it. Austin Crawford, number 19 in white, dangles his way through, but Greenwood gets a stick on the puck. As Bourgogne looking for it, comes free. As Nordine will poke it up ahead for Cranston. Here comes the Bodog making his way through. Cranston towards the middle. Still has it there. Not off the puck. It's going to be a penalty. As Trudell might have got a hook there on Bowen Cranston. It'll be the first power play of the game. The Bodog draws a penalty as Trudell will head to the box for 2 minutes or less for holding. First look at this Gulls power play here today is Calvert, Cannon, Douglas, Ruiz, and Kennedy. The first 5 out here for the Gulls in the man advantage. Puck is dropped. Scrum drop, comes free at the point. As played over for Ruiz. Ruiz will walk in and fire one up high. Just goes wide. Or on the wall. Ends up on a stick at Kennedy as he has McPhee right on him. Goal's able to hold the zone. Here's Calvert behind the goal. Lokua Calvert in the corner on the half wall now. Over across for Ruiz, but getting a stick on that one was Arsenault. And that will be sent down the ice. Have to play it is goaltender Esbaugh, as he'll play it behind the goal. Here is Kennedy. A minute and a half to go in the power play. Paxton Kennedy will leave it there for Miller Cannon. The captain will weave its way through the neutral zone. Here comes Cannon with a head of steam. It's going to be offside at the line. A collective groan from the Gulls. Faithful on hand here today, as that will be whistled down. 6:56 to go. Shots on goal are credited 6-0 in favor of the Gulls, who have come to play here today on their home opener on a Sunday afternoon. Puck is dropped. Puck is won back. Here is Henneberry. Minute and 20 to go in the power play. 2-4 has it in his own zone. Baldwin right on him, up for Levi. Drops it off. Here's Douglas. Sears has it. Grayson Sears drops it off at the blue line for Cranston. Bowen Cranston over across. As Henneberry will shoot on, it's be blocked by Lewis. Rebounds shot towards the goal. Just goes wide. As here is Cranston once again on the half wall. Switches spots of Dufour. He'll leave the puck for him. Dufour plays it down low for Sears. Sears behind the net. Had a 6-point game last night. Here is Grayson Sears. Over across for Dufour. Dufour fumbled the puck as Baldwin will send it down the ice. As the Rage will make some changes here. Sears will scan the ice before he picks up the puck. Grayson Sears will take it himself down the left wall. Sears still has it. Nice move. Sears all alone will fire one on. That just goes off the post and wide. That would have been a beauty from number 14 in black. As watch out here, Mayo on the forecheck able to intercept that pass. Here come the Gulls now. Levi has it. Levi over to Cranston. One for the zone. Bowen Cranston will hold on to it. Cranston has some space. So fire one on. This goes wide. Another great chance. Just missing the target. As the Gulls' 2 top goal scorers come very close to scoring once again. As that's going to be cleared down the ice once again. And that's going to do it for the power play. Still 0-0. 5.5 to go in the first. Here's Levi. Right up ahead, just out of the reach of Pelham. As Levi gets the pass right back. Here's Greenwood now. Greenwood through the middle. As Mayo gets a stick on that, but Greenwood gets it right back on his stick. Here comes Greenwood onto the zone. It's going to be offside once again as Wicker was inside the zone prematurely. So a couple great chances there on the power play from the Gulls, just missing wide both times. This game remains 0-0. Face-off will be right in front of the Rage bench. As Jollymore against Crawford, one back by the Gulls there as Wicker gets it. Here comes Jollymore. Jollymore will fire one towards the goal. It's going to be blocked on the way in by Norris. As here come the Rage in transition. Crawford has it. Austin Crawford. So played over to Nakai Simon. It's going to be turned over. Sent the other way. As watch out here, Norris. As that was a near too many men, but it's going to be called offside instead. A very close call there from the Rage defense. Able to avoid the too many men call. You'd be the judge of that one at home. Looks like they had 3 defense out there, but they call the offside instead. It's Crawford against Jollymore once again on the Rage bench. Puck is dropped. One back for the Gulls. Here is Jollymore neutral ice. Going to be picked off by Lewis. Going to find Trudell. It's going to be intercepted as Ruiz plays it up ahead. Sent in deep by Jollymore. As Gould will go out to play it, but Lewis gets there first. Charlie Lewis fakes one way, goes the other from behind the net. He'll circle back now. Lewis, number 77, behind his own cage. Has the puck still as he has a forechecking goal right on him. Forced to make a play. Dando up the wall looking for Simon. Simon through the middle of the ice there trying to spring Bourgogne just out of his reach. Here comes Don Bourgogne. Looking to get through as he gets taken down by Ruiz. As Nordine looking for the puck. It's going to get hit there by Nakai Simon. That's going to be a 2-on-2 down low. Sears looking for it. As penalty coming up here. As looks like the Rage went back to the box. As Nordine will poke it up ahead. It's going to be touched up. And cross-checking is the signal. as they'll send Dom Bourgoin, number 36, to the box. Cross-checking is the call. Another chance for this Gulls power play as Sears, McKinnon, Nordine, Greenwood, and Dufour out there for this man advantage. Arsenault will take the draw. He's out there with Donaldson, Carroll, and Trudell. As Gulls get possession off the face-off, but he's sent down the ice by Donaldson. Esba out to play it. He'll leave it there for his defenseman Greenwood. Here is Evan Sargent Greenwood behind his own cage. He'll wait for his teammates to pick up the puck. As here they come. Sears has it. Grayson Sears down the left side. Enters the zone. Gets hit off the puck by Bryce Carroll. It's going to be cleared to the neutral ice. That's going to be played with the hand passer. Watch out here. Penalty's coming up. Slashing is a signal as Sears went to the box. So a little bit of 4-on-4 here now. Grayson Sears, the Gulls don't want to have that guy in the box. They're a top scorer so far and definitely going to be one of the best players in this league as this season prolongs. This is the opening weekend, of course, as Arsenault, Donaldson, Trudell, and Carroll out there for this 4-on-4 in the offensive zone. Gulls win the face-off in their own end. Plenty of ice out there for those two speedy teams. As here is Greenwood. Greenwood down the right side. Gets taken down. Another penalty coming up here. So it looks like it'll be a 4-on-3 as watch out. Douglas got loose, but just goes off his stick and wide of the net. As here is Cannon. So 5-on-4 as of right now with the delayed penalty. Goalie on the bench. Here is Cranston over to Dufour. Dufour will fire one towards the goal. Rebounds there, cleared away. That's going to be touched up but not blown down. As here's Greenwood. Shot towards the net, just goes wide. It's Cranston looking for it on the half wall. Here's Bowen Cranston. Makes a move. Cranston who has it. He'll pass it down low. It's going to be picked off and touched up, and that'll be a whistle as tripping is the call. So 4-on-3 for the next 51 seconds here. Arsenault for tripping is the indication from the referee at center ice. Kennedy, Ruiz, Cranston, and Calvert out there for the Gulls. McPhee, the lone forward out there for the Rage alongside Norris and Charlie Lewis. 4-on-3 here. 2:59 to go. As they'll correct the call, it was looks like they'll send Trudell in the net, into the penalty box instead. Hard to tell from here, but Arsenault was back on the bench. So pump fake the draw. Now it's dropped. Calvert wins it back for Cranston. Here's Ruiz. Ruiz back over for Kennedy. Kennedy makes his way to the corner. Pass in front there for Calvert, and tight he scores. Power play goal for the Gulls. Lokua Calvert slips it by the goaltender Golds, and it's 1-0. Nice set of mitts in tight there from the veteran forward, Lokua Calvert, as he gets one by the pad of Gold to open the scoring here at the SMC. So back to 4-on-4 now, as Lokua Calvert, the goal scorer, has the puck, looking for Ruiz, ends up back on his stick in his own own. Here is Calvert. DD pass for Kennedy. He'll put the brakes on, over to Ruiz. Ruiz gets by Baldwin on the forward track. Ruiz still has it. Here comes Shea Ruiz, the rookie defenseman. Will play it behind the goal. Pass in front there. One-timer. Cranston just goes wide. As puck in the corner. Lewis looking for it. Ruiz and him battling for it as Calvert gets a piece of Baldwin. Puck will make its way up the wall. Cranston can't hold the line. He'll play it back in neutral ice. As DD pass over for Kennedy. Kennedy up the middle for Cranston. Watch out here. Lewis steps up on the Bodog. Big hit there on neutral ice. Here's Calvert down the right side onto the zone. Lokua Calvert behind the net now is number 11 in black. Calvert has the puck on the half wall now. Dufour up top. Dufour will pass over to Cranston. Cranston will fire one on. He scores. Bowen Cranston gets loose in the slot. Posting in. And it's 2-0. His fourth goal of the season already. The rookie forward off to a great start. 2-0 is your score here at the SMC. Puck is dropped. Scrum draw here is Carroll. Mayo looking for it. Puck comes free for Chevry. Here's Levi now. Levi DD pass. Played over across. Gulls at possession. Here is Henneberry. Fans on the pass. Mayo in the forecheck but can't get through the puck. Here's Jollymore now. Jollymore through the middle. Plays it over across. It's going to be sent in deep by Jack Zwicker. Zwicker had 2 goals last night in Dartmouth as well as an assist for a 3-point night. As Levi in the corner. Levi gets hit there by Carroll into the wall. Puck behind the net. As with it now is Jollymore. Liam Jollymore will go up the boards for Henneberry. Henneberry back for Jollymore. Jollymore will fire one towards the goal, stopped by Gold. And there'll be no rebound with 57 seconds remaining here in the opening frame. Goals up 2-0. Goals from Lakua Calvert and Bowen Cranston. Shots are 10-0 on the score clock right now in favor of the Gulls. Here's Jollymore off the face-off. Puck is dropped. Here's Greenwood. Greenwood will walk in and fire one towards the goal. This goes wide past Gould. As Pelham looking for it. Puck comes free off the hit. Shot is on towards the goal. As redirection without the shin pad of Trudell. It's going to be played up the boards by number 88. Puck comes free for Greenwood. Here's Pelham now. Let's look at hit from Nakai Simon. Pinching up as Lewis in the neutral zone. Puck comes free for Crawford. Crawford will play it up the middle for Lewis. As Price gets taken away from the puck. Jollymore in the forecheck as Price gets a hit there. The helmet comes off. Whistle will blow. Adam Levi got his bucket knocked off of him, but he seems to be okay. Sorry, that is Magnus Norgny, number 16, not 15. 27.9 seconds remaining in the first period. There'll be no flooding between the first and second, so stick around during the intermission. Here's Kennedy at the red line, plays it back for Greenwood. Greenwood forced to circle back. It's like a funny hop on the boards. There's Nordine there to pick up the puck. Nordine and McPhee battling for the loose biscuit as it comes free for Arsenault, who'll play with a nice deflection there to keep the play alive. As here's Lewis over to Trudell. Trudell will go off the boards looking for Arsenault. He'll go off the boards as well. As Baldwin and Greenwood battling for the loose puck, as that's going to do it for the first. Gulls scored 2 goals in the opening frame. Lokua Calvert and Bowen Cranston have the markers. So a very short break here during the intermission. You're tuned into High Button Sports. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back here. Second period about underway. Fresh 20 minutes on the board. Baldwin against Calvert off the draw, and Henry plays over for Ruiz. One-touch pass for Calvert. Here come the Gulls. Calvert will fire one on, but he fans on. Rebounds there through the crease. As Douglas just missing that tap, and his shot towards the goal. It's going to be blocked on the way in. Ruiz has it now in neutral ice. Jay Ruiz, the rookie defenseman, number 20 in black, will play it ahead for Cannon. Another Cannon, the captain, will circle back in neutral ice. Enters the zone now, but it's going to be offside once again. So we'll drop the puck in the neutral zone. 2-0's your score here at the SMC. Gulls won last night in their opening game against the Whalers in Dartmouth. Cool Harbour lost at the CHP to the Truro Bearcats. 4-1 was the score, but it was 2 empty netters, so a lot closer to the game. Came down to the very end. There is Dando in his own zone up for Chevry. Chevry has the puck on the wall, looking to find Mayo, but it's out of his reach. Puck turned over. Here's Greenwood over to Douglas. Here's Dufour up through the middle. It's going to be sent down all the way, and that will be no icing call as referee didn't blow his whistle. As here is Dufour. Dufour up ahead off the skate of Sears. Sears will play it back. Here's Dufour again, over across for Greenwood. Greenwood will go off the boards, finds Cranston. Here comes Bowen Cranston with some space. 2-on-1 with Sears. Cranston will fire one on. Stop made by Gould. It's a very dangerous 2-on-1 developing there. The two Gulls snipers on the odd man rush, but Gould makes a save. His puck in the corner. Donaldson knocked off the wall. Is in on the forecheck as Chevry. Puck comes free for Zach Mayo. Mayo scored the only goal for the Rage last night as Carroll looking for the loose puck. It's going to be played towards the opposite boards. Puck stays in the zone, but only for a moment as it's rolling on the blue line. Here's Carroll on neutral ice. Bryce Carroll will poke it up ahead. It's going to be turned over as Greenwood gets a piece of it, but Mayo's going to be onside there at the line. But right back in the stick of the Gulls as Dufour will go behind the goal. Picked up by Greenwood as the Rage will make some changes here. We're about 2 minutes deep into the second period. Still 2-0. As Cranston looking for Sears, going to be turned over. Here's Carroll. Carroll trying to weave his way through, but knocked off the puck. Comes free for Crawford. Crawford towards the goal. Fanned on the pass. Here's Price. Price trying to dangle his way, but he couldn't get by the Gulls defense. Here's Carroll. Shot towards the goal. It just goes wide. Hit Dufour in front of the net. As hit there on the boards by Price on the forecheck. Here's Carroll trying to hold the line, but that will escape the zone. Trudell will send it right back in. Good shift there from the Rage. Still without a shot credited on goal. As here is Levi. Levi plays it up ahead. Here come the Gulls in transition. Striking and shooting there was McKinnon. Rebounds there off the blocker of Gould, and it's in. Charlie McKinnon let a backhander go. Went off the blocker of Gould, off of Bryce Carroll, and it's 3-0. Tough break for the Rage after a great shift in the offensive zone. Unfortunate bounce for Gould and Carroll and the Rage. As the lead is now 3-0. Puck dropped. Yes, here is Cannon. Plays it back for Ruiz. Up the middle. It's going to be picked off. Arsenal looking for it. Gulls have possession now. Here's McKinnon. Up for Cannon there, but he was offside. We're about 3 minutes into this second frame. Charlie McKinnon just scored the latest goal to make it 3-0. Face-off will be right in front of the broadcast booth here at the SMC. Puck is dropped. As once again the Gulls are offside. So we'll redo that face-off. Puck is dropped. One back by the Rage. Simon over for Dando. Up the middle. Finds Arsenault off his stick. Arsenault looking for that loose puck against Ruiz. As they'll get a piece of him there on the forecheck. But Gulls get it back. But Arsenault has the puck again. But quickly turned over. Here's Miller Cannon now. The captain knocked out the puck for a moment. But gets it right back. McKinnon couldn't handle that pass. As Lewis back to retrieve it. Here is Charlie Lewis. Will put the brakes on behind his own net. Another move. Lewis still has it. Looking to go up the wall for Chevry. As he'll try and one-touch pass, but intercepted by Cannon. As Cannon is taken down by Chevry. Here is Lucas Dando in the corner. Dando will start the rush for the Rage as he'll go up the wall. Dando up for Baldwin. Baldwin against Ruiz. Played up ahead. Kennedy back to retrieve the loose puck. Here's Paxton Kennedy. The rookie defenseman will go up the boards. That's going to be played up at the line. So here's Pelham. Back for Kennedy. Paxton Kennedy will play it back for Pelham. Pelham in the neutral ice will find Zwicker streaking through. As Zwicker gets by Norris, as picked up by Jake McPhee on the back check. McPhee finds Mayo. Mayo will go all the way up the ice. And that will slowly trickle its way down. And that will be just enough for icing. Rage can't change here. Couple of tired defensemen on the ice. With his face off, 15:43 to go here in the second frame. Mayo in for the face-off. Puck is dropped, one back by the Rage in their own zone. Here is Lewis. Lewis has been out there for a while, looking to get off the ice. That's going to be turned over behind the net. Here's Pelham. Pelham on the backhand, goes up the boards for Dufour. Dufour will shoot it towards the goal, blocked by Zach Mayo. Here's Norris. Norris up for Chevry. Landon Chevry finds Mayo streaking through. So get the red line. Still has the puck. Is Zachary Mayo turned over. Let's check on the goals now. Behind their own net. It's going to be played up the boards. Tangling up. His man was Mayo. Puck comes free for Pelham once again. Pelham has the puck. Will shoot towards the goal at the pad of Gulls. Rebounds right there, but Chevry will get it for the Rage as here comes Cole Harbour, number 13. Rage is Chevry. He has the puck, leading his way through. As he'll send it in deep. Calvert back to retrieve it. As Chevry will head to the bench. Stretch pass for Cannon off of his skate. Picked up by Gould to leave it for Trudell. Trudell up through the middle. It's going to be turned over at the line. Here comes Douglas. Douglas will hold on to it and shooing on. It's going to be stopped by Gould with the glove. As he'll cover up. No rebounds. Net comes off as Carroll falls into the cage. Pretty good start for the rookie netminder against this strong Gulls team. As Crawford in for the draw against Calvert inside the Rage zone as Donaldson had a step there. Linesman will wait for the correct formation as Gulls from the draw. Here's Kennedy towards the goal. Once again, Gould with the save. And once more, there'll be no rebounds. Another face-off coming up here. Crawford against Calvert once again. Puck dropped. One back for Kennedy. Kennedy finds McKinnon. McKinnon over across, looking for Douglas. It's going to be clear but not out. Here's Greenwood towards the goal as Carroll gets a piece out of his stick. Carroll looking for Trudell. Here comes Hayden Trudell. Looking to clear. Kept in by Cannon. Cannon through the middle there for Douglas. Blocked by Carroll. Number 84 getting down to block that shot. Here is Kennedy now. Kennedy makes a move on the half wall. Still has the puck. Puts the brakes on. As watch out here. Crawford gets a piece of him. As Cannon gets the loose puck. Back down low for Kennedy. Kennedy. Shoots by Carroll, so go over across looking for Trudell, but Calvert was there on the forecheck. Here come the Rage now as Crawford will take over. Austin Crawford is on the back check was Calvert. Able to get that puck away as it's going to hit a glove on the Rage bench, and that will stop play. About 6 minutes have gone in this second period. Gulls lead 3-0. In their home opener. Puck is dropped. One back by Baldwin and Dando, so go up the boards. Henneberry back to retrieve the puck. Here is Davis Henneberry behind his own net. He's going to get by Price in the forecheck. Here's Sears now. Sears will poke it free for Ruiz. Shea Ruiz has it, puts the move on Baldwin. Puck kept in by Dando. Shot towards the goal. It's going to be a first save for Esbaugh. As he saw that one all the way with the glove. There's a bit of a scrum here after the play. Nothing comes out of that one. So finally a credited shot on goal for the Rage, as you can see on the scoreboard there. As they'll drop the puck. Chance here for Dando. Once again, another save from Esbaugh, and they'll get the rebound. So that's two straight shots. There's another scrum after the draw. Or the whistle, I should say. It's Price getting tangled up. No penalties handed out once again, but I'm sure the referee's giving out some warnings out there. So there's Baldwin against Cranston on the face-off. Puck is dropped. One back for the Rage once again. Another shot from Dando. Once again, Esbaugh there with the glove. 3 straight shots from Lucas Dando. So Rage looking to get back into this game. We'll redo the face-off of Baldwin and Cranston once again. As we'll await the puck drop. Here it is. One back, but turned over. Here comes Sears now for the Gulls. Grayson Sears from space. He'll drag his way through. Shot's blocked as Cranston gets the rebound. Cranston up ahead off a skate looking for Henneberry. Here's Dando. Dando will go off the glass. Puck trickling on neutral ice. Picked up by Henneberry. He'll do a shoulder check. Henneberry up the boards looking for Cranston. It's going to be turned over as Baldwin looking to get it in deep, but hits a skate. Here's Dando. Dando off the boards. Finds Arsenault, but quickly turned over. Ruiz. DD over to Henneberry as Price was there on the forecheck. Here's Baldwin now. Baldwin will fire one towards the goal, blocked by Ruiz. As Baldwin gets the rebound. Here's Arsenault looking for the no-look pass in front for Price, but can't find his teammate. As here comes Sears. Grayson Sears down the left side towards the middle. One-timer Cranston. Just fanning on that one was the Bowdog, as he had plenty of room there to rip that one in transition. As here's Dando looking for the loose puck. Played up ahead for Greenwood. He'll drag on the blue line. Still has the puck. Down low for Sears. Sears will drag and fire one low off the pad of Golds. Nice save there from the Rage netminder as the rebound was hit off the helmet of the netminder again. Here is Dufour. Dufour as Price there on the forecheck. Looking for it is Lewis in the corner. Tangled up with Sears. Baldwin joins the mix behind the net. His pass in front. Misses everybody. Here's Dufour up top. Sends it back in deep. Goals to make some changes here. Here's Dando at the wall. A tired Rage group out there right now. Can't clear the zone as Dufour keeps the puck in. Puck will finally enter neutral ice. This here's Dufour. D over to Greenwood. Greenwood up the middle. It's going to be picked off by Arsenault, but the puck comes free. Here come the Gulls. The puck is on. This goes over the net. Good chance there from the Gulls once again in transition off the turnover. It's going to be sent down the ice. And this tired Rage group cannot change. As the Gulls will get some fresh troops out there. 11.5 to go here in the second. Gulls lead 3-0 here on opening weekend at the SMC. Nordine in for the face-off against Mayo. Puck is dropped. Scrum draw. Comes free from Lewis. He has the puck for the Rage. Looking to clear off a shin pad. Puck stays in. Mayo takes over for Price. Price go up the wall. Puck escapes the zone. Arsenault on the forecheck. He'll go for a change. Puck played up ahead for McKinnon. Rage are changing. Watch out here. Here comes Douglas. Douglas enters the zone. Here comes Douglas. Shot. Vandon as Dando got a stick on that one. Here's Chevry up the boards for Mayo. Mayo has the puck on the left side. Looking to get into the zone. Mayo. Nice move there. Zach Mayo will fire one up high off of Esbar. Rebounds there. Simon can't find it. He gets the puck now, but knocked off of his stick. His puck will come free. There's Carroll looking for it. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon has a step. 2-on-0. Pass across and Gould makes the save on Douglas. Post to post for Gould. Keeps things 3-0 for now as Kennedy will send it in deep. Here is Norris now off the dump in. Nathan Norris up the boards looking for Chevry. Puck, watch out here as a change there from the Gulls, but no too many men call as Carroll gets that one off the glove for the block. He's feeling that one right now. As here is Henneberry looking for a loose puck. 2-on-2 right in front of the Gulls bench. Puck comes free. Looking for it is Hellham has it now loose in front of the net, but sticked away. As Mayo looking for the puck, but turned over. Here's Zwicker. Zwicker trying to dangle his way through. Puck is free. Zwicker down low. Here's Pelham. Forehand. Backhand. Stopped by Gould. Nice set of hands and tight there. Gulls still have it. Here's a chance for Jollymore, blocked by Carroll. Another shot just goes wide. Carroll has a few big blocks here for the Rage in this shift. Puck comes free for Norris to go up the wall. Chevry has some time to make a play, and he will up for Simon. Simon will go off the boards, but it's going to be knocked off of his stick. Rage looking to change here as puck is bouncing for Greenwood. He'll slow things down. Greenwood up the middle. Simon there on the forecheck. It would have caused some havoc. Gulls still have it. As here is Pelham up for Zwicker. Just off of his stick on the zone entry. Trudell gets tangled up there. The Gulls forward. 9.5 to go here. We're halfway through this second period. Here's Dufour. Dufour will fire one on. Just goes over the net. Nice chance there. As off the bench came Calvert, but it's going to be turned over. As here is McPhee spinning back in his own zone. Trudell looking to clear. Can't get it out. Puck is turned over. As Zwicker down low for Calvert. Calvert on the wall, back for Zwicker. Zwicker looking in front there for Cannon. Would have been a beauty, but just out of his reach. The puck will escape the zone. Greenwood has it now, neutral ice. Up the boards for Calvert, trying to whack it in deep, but he fanned on it. Trudell up the boards, turned over. Here's Calvert behind the net. Calvert in front for Cannon, just misses him, and he was parked right out front. Would have been a nice look there for the Gulls as Douglas turned over. Here's Bourgogne. Bourgogne will look to send it in deep, and he will. Esbaugh has the puck in his crease. Will play it for his defenseman. D pass. Here come the Gulls, up for Cannon. Miller Cannon, the veteran forward, will play it up for Calvert. Calvert just out of his reach, as that will be an icing call. With 8:24 to go here in the second period. 3-0 is your score. Rage of a chance in the offensive zone off the Gulls icing. Baldwin, Arsenault, Donaldson, Lewis, and Dando out there off the icing. Puck is dropped. One back by the Gulls, but turned over. Here's Baldwin looking for Arsenault in the slot. Arsenault up for Dando. Dando will fire one blocked. Gets a rebound though. Here's Dando over cross. Arsenault will fire one into the glove of Esbaugh. It'll cover up the rebound. As Wyatt Esbaugh finally getting some action here in the second period. No credited shots on goals in the first for the Rage, but there's 5 on the board now. As Gulls can make some changes now as they get the whistle. Baldwin against Cranston on this face-off. As we'll wait for the players to be in the correct position. Mine's been getting no inches out there on the draw. Puck is finally dropped off the face-off. There's Dando's shot, tipped in front as Esbaugh able to find it and cover up once again. Still 3-0 here at the SMC here on the Fountain Ice. Baldwin against Cranston once again in the Rage offensive zone. Puck is dropped. One ahead there, just going wide off the face-off was Donaldson. As kept in by Lewis. Puck off the stick of Donaldson. It's going to be sent off the mesh, and that will be a whistle. Puck will be dropped inside the zone. Just over 12 minutes gone here in this second frame. Puck is dropped. Comes free for Baldwin, but it's going to be turned over. Sears has it. Sears goes skate to stick. Up ahead. Looking for Pelham, but he couldn't get loose as Levi on the forecheck against Dando. Puck comes free for Sears. Sears are going to go off the side of the net, but this goes off the cage as Cranston has it now. Puck bouncing to the blue line for Greenwood. Back for Cranston. He gets hit into the boards by Baldwin. Battle for the puck. Still on the boards. Finally comes free. It's going to be sent back towards the zone. Dando fans on the clearing attempt. Here's Cranston in front looking for Sears. That's going to be off a skate as there is Arsenault. Cross ice. Finds Donaldson. Donaldson up the middle. Looking for Dando in transition. That's going to be out of his reach. As here comes Cranston now of Sears. 3-on-1 developing. Here's Sears dragging and shooting there, but whiffing on it. It was number 14 in black. Nearly scoring another goal for the Gulls. As here is Donaldson now with a turnover. He has Mayo up ahead. Donaldson will hold on to it. Finally passes over to Mayo, but he turns it over right away to Cranston. Here comes Bowen Cranston. As he'll put the brakes on. Looking for Sears. Puck comes free for Norris. Norris, D over to Chevry, up to the middle there, off the skate of Sears. Turned over as that's going to be hit. Was Nordine by Norris. Puck is turned over as Chevry will go off the boards. Puck comes free. 6.5 to go here in the second. D pass for Kennedy. Over across as puck is loose in the neutral zone. That's going to be a 2-on-1 developing now once again. Here come the Gulls. Pass in front looking for McKinnon. Just missing him. It was a good look there from the Gulls. As that was Magnus Nordine on the 2-on-1 with McKinnon. A shot towards the goal from Chevry. Glove down from Esbaugh. And that will be another whistle here. With just about 6 minutes remaining here in this middle frame. Face off inside the goal zone. Calvert against Crawford. Puck is dropped. One back by the Rage. Shot is on, and Esbaugh flashing the leather off the shot from Simon. will cover up once again. Crawford against Calvert once again. This time it's the Gulls who win the face-off. DDD pass, looking for McKinnon on the boards. They'll find him. As puck comes free. Here comes McKinnon. Stripped by Simon as Calvert there on the back check the puck right back for the Gulls. Here come the Gulls now. Henneberry will send it in deep. He gets a piece from Carroll as Norris will look to collect the puck, but in the forecheck are the Gulls. That's Nordin as Crawford with a hit there. Arm stays down. Here is Norris. Up ahead for McPhee. McPhee will drag his way through a neutral ice, but Calvert there. Here's Crawford. Crawford went to the zone. Crawford over to Carroll. Carroll will fire one on. Stopped by Esbaugh. Biggest test of the game so far from Wyatt Esbaugh, and he makes the save on transition off the shot from Carroll, who came pinching in. Here's Pelham now. Pelham trying to leave it for Calvert. Here comes the rage now. Here is Simon. Simon will fire one on from distance. Glove down once again from Esbaugh. Showing off the mitt here today. As Simon has a few words for the Gulls goaltender. Probably telling him to chill out with the windmills, but Esbaugh won't be doing so. 5 minutes to go here in the middle frame. Still 3-0. Baldwin in for the face-off. Up against Sears. Puck is shot, one back to the point. Dando's shot just goes wide. Here's Trudell. Sends it back in deep. Looking forward is Arsenault in the corner. Arsenault looking to poke it ahead, but Pelham gets the puck for Dufour, but turns it over. Here's Baldwin with a move in the corner. Baldwin up ahead there, but it's going to be turned over as Pelham intercepts that pass. Zwicker back to retrieve it. Zwicker looking to clear. Puck is bouncing as puck comes free for the Gulls. As Pelham tangled up with Baldwin. Puck in the body of Pelham who's down on the ice. Dando throws out a shove. Puck comes free for Pelham. He'll pass over. Crossing for Zwicker. Just out of his reach. As Zwicker looking for his third goal of the season. Here is Pelham. Spinning in the corner. Turned over. Arsenault can't clear. Here's Jollymore. Shot! Just goes over the net. As Gould might have got a piece of that one. As Trudell back in the corner. Can't clear. Here's Pelham towards the middle. Intercepted by Dando as he falls down trying to clear the puck. Dufour turned over. As Arsenault gets the puck right back over across looking for Bourgogne. Puck is bouncing. Neutral ice comes free. Here's Arsenault. Still has it but gets taken down. Greenwood will take over. Here comes Sergeant Greenwood in his own zone. Scans the ice. Will lead the rush here for the Gulls. Through the middle. Greenwood has it. Trying to dangle his way through, but Lewis gets a piece of him and puck will end up on net. Covered up by Gould. It's going to be another scrum here after the draw. Or the whistle, I should say. As nothing comes out of that one. About 4 minutes to go here in the second frame. Gulls still lead 3-0. And for the face-off is Lokua Calvert. Up against Zach Mayo. A couple of veterans in this league. Puck is dropped. Scramble draw, played up ahead by Gould. Here's Chevry in his own zone. Chevry looking for Mayo, turned over. Here's Cannon, shot stopped as Douglas let that one rip. Gould makes the save. Here is Calvert behind his own net. Lokua Calvert on the half wall, has the puck, looking to dangle his way, sends it in deep. Douglas will take over. Douglas up the wall, finds Paxton Kennedy. Kennedy will fake one way, go the other, back for Douglas. The shot is on, Fandon rebounds there, that's just wide. Just past Gould, as here's Calvert. Great pressure here from the Gulls. As here's Douglas stopped by Gould once again in tight. Lewis looking to clear. Puck behind the net comes free. Chance here for Cannon, scores! Miller Cannon goes top shelf. And it's 4-0 for the Gulls. Great shift there in the offensive zone by the veteran forward line for the Gulls. Eventually finished off by Miller Cannon. As he went upstairs on the rage goaltender. The lead is now 4. Puck dropped. There is Dufour. Dufour up the wall looking for Sears. He's out of his reach. That will make its way behind the net. Here's Norris with Sears right on him. Puck comes loose as McPhee couldn't handle the pass. Here is Greenwood. Greenwood towards the half wall looking for Levi out of his reach. Here come the rage now. Here's McPhee. Jake McPhee 3-on-2 developing here for the Rage. Crawford has the puck. Over across for Price. Price will fire one on off of Esbar. Rebounds there, but cleared away. Nice zone entry there from the Rage, but unable to score. As here comes Cranston now. Cranston with a little bit of step, but against nudge off the puck. As Cranston taken down, Rage got away with no penalty. As here's Levi. Puck is loose there. Here comes McPhee. McPhee will collect the loose puck and send it down the ice, and that will be icing. We'll drop the puck inside the Rage zone. Harbour can't change. Off the icing call. The Gulls will send some fresh troops out there. And for the draws, Nordine, McKinnon, and Miller Cannon back out there. Hannaberry and Kennedy on the blue line. Puck is dropped. One back by the Rage. As here's Trudell up the wall looking for the clear. It was going to be kept in by Kennedy. He'll send it back in deep. Norris against McKinnon. Norris goes up the wall, but nobody was home. Cannon will take over. Cannon gets hit into the wall. Norris looking for Trudell, but it's going to be intercepted. Here's McKinnon. Gulls have possession. Here is Nordine. Shot from Cannon. He scores. Back-to-back goals from the Gulls captain. And it's 5-0. Off the turnover. Rage didn't want to get that loose puck in the corner and ends up in the back of their net. And the lead is now 5 here. About 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Puck dropped. At the face-off, here's Cannon. Cannon looking for the hat trick now. His puck's in front looking for Nordine. Just out of his reach. Here's Arsenault. Plays it back, turned over. There is Cannon. The captain has 2 goals, looking for 3. Pass in front looking for Nordine. Just intercepted. Puck played to the blue line. Loose puck. As Nakai Simon looking to poke it free. McKinnon gets there. Up the wall. As puck is loose. Sent up ahead by Dando. Kennedy will retrieve the loose puck. Esball will leave it for him. Kennedy goes behind his own cage. Minute and 20 to go here in the second frame. Turned over, but Gulls get it right back. Off the glass, going to clear. Lewis battling with Cannon. Cannon looking for that loose puck as he gets taken down with a hook, and that will be a penalty. Gulls will head back to the power play as Cannon draws the call. Lewis heads to the box. .108 to go in the middle frame. Gulls up by 5. Puck is dropped. One back to the point, but Greenwood wasn't ready for it, so puck will make its way all the way back to Esba, who will leave it there for his defenseman Greenwood. Greenwood behind his own net. Has the puck. Scans the ice. Here's Evans, Sargent, Greenwood. Plays it up ahead on the right side. As Jollymore has it. Jollymore looking to set up here on the power play. Up ahead for Dufour. Dufour will fire one, blocked by Mayo with the shin pad. Here's Pelham now. Less than 40 seconds to go in the frame. Here's Dufour. Dufour on the blue line for Pelham. Pelham will take the shot and hold on to it. On the half wall is number 18 in black. That's Pelham. Up for Greenwood. Greenwood will walk in and fire one on off the crossbar. As that one just stays out. That will end up out of play. With 19 seconds to go. Both teams make some changes here. Calvert, Cannon, Douglas back out there for the power play alongside Kennedy and Hannaberry. Puck dropped. One back by the Rage in their own zone, but turned over. Here's Calvert. Calvert up for Hannaberry. Hannaberry on the blue line. Holds on to it. Finds McCannon. Cannon on the half wall. Spins. Cannon has 2 in this game. Plays it up top. As here is Hannaberry. It's a run out of time here. But they won't count that one. As that one ended up in the back of the net, but well after the buzzer. So, 2 periods have come and gone here at the SMC. Gulls up by 5. It's a quick break for this intermission. You're tuning into High Button Sports. U15 major action going on here on a Sunday afternoon. Zamboni on the ice. Teams to the room. We'll be back in about 10 or 12 minutes. Welcome back here for the third period. Gulls up 5-0 after 2 periods. It looks good early on in this season. They scored 10 last night in Dartmouth, and they have 5 so far in this one. There's an early whistle for offside. Rage with just the 1 goal so far this year. As they'll start the period shorthanded as Lewis took a hooking call at the tail end of the second. As here's Zwicker, 2-on-1 with Pelham. Zwicker over across for Pelham, but he can't get the shot off. Puck played behind the net as watch out. Players collide as here's Ruiz winding and shooting. As Carroll once again getting in front of that one. As he's had many blocks in this game so far. It's 3 that I can remember on the top of my head. As it'll be cleared down the ice by the Rage. Back to retrieve it are the Gulls. As here's Jollymore in his own zone. Waves it up ahead. As here is Kennedy, but the breaks on his own blue line. He finds Jollymore. Jollymore down the right side on Carroll. Gets by the defense. Jollymore behind the net. Has Carroll right on him once again. As they'll get tangled up. It's going to be picked up by the Gulls as they have possession now. But back to 5-on-5. As here's Zwicker. Plays it down low. Gets the return feed, but off the stick of Mayo. As he gets the puck, but he'll turn it over right away for Dufour. Dufour. D over to Greenwood. Back in his own zone is Sergeant Greenwood as Zwicker turns over there at the blue line. It's going to be sent in deep by Mayo as Dufour back to retrieve it. Here's Greenwood. Back for Dufour. Rage are having a little problems here on the forecheck, allowing the Gulls to break out with no problem. As here is Trudell off the boards. Dufour keeps it in. Dufour looking to poke his way through. Picked up by Cranston. Drops it off of the blue line. As Mayo will get the turnover, go up the boards, but Dufour able to retrieve the puck. DD pass for Greenwood. Up ahead. Here comes Bowen Cranston on the right side. Cranston over cross for Sears, striking and shooting! Just going over the net. Is number 14 in black. That would have been a beauty there at the toe drag release. His puck is loose in the crease. That will go through the blue paint. Here's Ruiz. Ruiz puts the brakes on up top. Has the puck over crossing for Cranston, who was all alone on the left side. Cranston will fly one around the boards. Chevry looking to pick it up, the puck, and he will. Chevry up ahead for Baldwin, but knocked off of his stick by Ruiz. Puck comes free. Here's Bowen Cranston onto the zone. Cranston will fire one from distance off the stick and out of play of Goulds. And that will stop things here. So we're about 2 minutes deep, 2 1/4 to be exact. Gulls up 5-0 here on opening weekend, their first home game. They were on the road last night. This is the Rage's first away game. His puck is dropped. Here's Ruiz. DD pass for Kennedy. The shot is on. It's going to be tipped just wide. Here comes Arsenault now for the Rage. Josh Arsenault through the middle. Enters the zone. Number 66 in white. Looking to find Simon streaking through, but it's going to be turned over. As here comes the Gulls in transition. Sent in deep by McKinnon. Him and Lewis battling for a loose puck. This puck comes free for the Gulls. Pass there is Baldwin on the back check. It's a piece of his man. Here's Kennedy over to Ruiz. Ruiz will fire one blocked on the way through. Arsenault puts the puck towards the blue line. That will exit the ice. As here is Henneberry over across. Looking for Nordine. It's going to be turned over. As Dando colliding there with Jollymore. As 2 veterans have a few words for each other after that collision. As Arsenault in on the forecheck. Puck comes free for Jollymore. Jollymore towards the goal there. That was knocked off of his stick by Crawford on the forecheck. As that will be covered up by Esbaugh. Once again with the glove as he gives his teammate a fist pump. Crawford will remain out there with McPhee and Bourgogne. Trudell and Carroll on the blue line. Calvert, Cannon, and Douglas, the veteran line, out there once again. Greenwood and Kennedy out there as the Gulls win the face-off in their own zone. Here is Kennedy. As looking to get past the Rage forecheckers. Puck played to the wall. It's going to be kept in by Trudell, but quickly turned over for Greenwood. Here is Sergeant Greenwood up the wall for Captain Cannon. He'll spin off a check, plays it back. Puck on the feet there. Kennedy had to be sharp there as nearly turned over. Here's Greenwood up the wall. Kept in for a moment. Puck comes free for Calvert. Here come the Gulls now. Lokua Calvert on the left side. Enters the zone. To put the brakes on and pass over across for Douglas, who couldn't get a good piece of that one as he fanned on it. That's going to be played out off the netting. That will be a face-off inside the Rage zone. We're about 4 minutes deep now. This game winding down here in the third. Thank you for tuning in to High Button Sports here today. Plenty of games on hand on the U15 Major opening weekend. And of course, there's Maritime Major Girls Hockey League action as well as some U18 Major action. Basically, all the best hockey across the Atlantic provinces is available to view on High Button Sports, free all season long. As we're only getting bigger here. As here is Chevry off the turnover, but Zwicker gets the puck right back. Here is Jollymore. Jollymore enters the zone, puts the brakes on. Still has it up ahead for Zwicker. Zwicker on the backhand towards the goal. Look in front there for Pelham. Puck is loose in the slot. Here's Zwicker spinning and shooting, but blocked once again by Bryce Carroll. He's had a great game defensively in this one in terms of blocking shots. As Bourgogne will chip it out of the zone and go for a change. Here is Zwicker looking for Hannaberry, but Chevry on the forecheck causing havoc. Chevry gets the turnover, gets nudged into the boards. Here is Mayo. Mayo looking in front there. Puck comes free for Lewis. Lewis will shoot one towards the net. Puck is there in the crease there. As Esbaugh sprawling out to make the save as he's diving in his crease. He'll cover up for the whistle. Another test there for the Gulls netminder. As Mayo will remain out there with Chevry and Donaldson. Puck is dropped. One to the point, but Lewis couldn't hold the line. Forced to retreat is the raged defenseman as he has Sears right on him on the forecheck. Lewis picks it up off the boards but turns it over. Up the wall. Kennedy has it at the blue line. Return feed for Levi. Levi towards the middle there looking for Cranston. But turned over as here comes Mayo now. Zach Mayo for the Rage. Will chip it in. Picked up by Ruiz. As the Gulls doing a great job of getting to those loose pucks. Here's Cranston. Enters the zone into the middle. Now on the left side, looks like the brakes on. Cranston still has it. Looking to center that puck was going to be turned over. Lewis looking to clear. Kept in by Kennedy. Just barely as his shot is tipped just wide by Sears. There's Norris looking to clear. Here is Lewis. Up the wall. Comes free for Kennedy. He'll go backhand DDD for Ruiz. Che Ruiz. Up the wall. It's going to be sent in deep by the Bodog as Norris will play it up ahead, looking for Chevry. Norris gets it back, but turns it over. Here comes Cranston with some space. Bowen Cranston will shoot and scores! The Bodog goes low blocker. And it's 6-0. Cranston is pretty much automatic when he gets some space in the offensive zone. Another multi-goal performance from number 9 in black, as he has 4 goals already. He has 5 goals on the season. 3 last night and 2 here today so far. As him and Miller Cannon are on hat-trick watch now. 6-0 is the score. As here's Carroll. Bryce Carroll turns over. It's McKinnon. Had that go off his stick and out of play. Some unbelievable stuff from number 9 in black. Everyone, all the critics going into this season were saying, oh, just wait till he gets to hitting hockey. It'll be a lot different for him, but he looks pretty good out here in full contact in this U15 Major League. We'll expect to see plenty more of the Bodog in years to come. Very impressive stuff from the rookie for the Gulls. As face-off will be right in front of the Gulls bench. Puck is dropped. Comes free from McKinnon. Up the wall. As Nordine up ahead. That's going to be knocked off of his stick. Here's Greenwood. Enters the zone on the right side. Greenwood into the corner as Baldwin gives him a shove. Pokes free. Puck is loose in the corner. Arsenault will shimmy shake, but turns it over. As here's Greenwood now. Greenwood behind the net. Has the puck. For the Gulls, up to the middle. Here is McKinnon. Shot just goes wide. Here's the rebound for Zwicker. Zwicker in front looking for Nordine as he fans with the shot. Rebound's there. Stopped by Gould with the glove. The rookie netminder makes the save in tight. There'll be a whistle inside the Rage zone. .15 to go in this third and final frame of regulation. Calvert against McPhee on the face-off is Gould once again with the glove off the draw. Makes the save and will cover up. Crawford against Calvert on the face-off once again. Puck dropped. Off the face-off comes free for Douglas, stroking his way through. Douglas will shoot over high off the side of the net. Not sure if that got a piece of Gould. Regardless, here is Nakai Simon in his own zone. Simon goes board to board there. Up for Crawford. Crawford has the puck. Will shoot it on. Esba makes a save. As hit there after the whistle. Watch out. That will cause a stir for sure. Penalty on the play. Let's see what the referee deems the call to be. Looks like it'll just be Crawford heading to the box. So another power play here for the Gulls as they lead 6-0 here in the third. Calvert against Simon here for the face-off. Puck dropped, one back by the Rage. Lewis in the clear, it's going to be kept in. Here is Kennedy up top. Puts some moves on the blue line, but Simon right there to get that out. It's another penalty coming up here. Looks like cross-checking on Calvert in front of the net. So that will even things up here, 4-on-4 for the next minute and 51. That will do it for the Gulls power play. Simon out there for Burgoyne, Carroll and Norris on the blue line. Nordine out there for the Gulls with Ruiz, Pelham, and what looks to be Dufour. Sorry, that's Henneberry. 4-on-4 action here. Here's Jollymore. Jollymore up the wall. Still has it. Gulls have it now. Here is Henneberry. Enters the zone. Henneberry has Norris right on him. Nudged off the puck. Here's Burgoyne. Plays it back for Carroll. Bryce Carroll will lead the rush here for the Rage. Carroll down the left side. Has the puck towards the goal. Here's Carroll shooting just off the side of the net. Not sure if that got a piece of Esba. Nice rush there from the veteran defenseman for the Rage. Puck comes free for Pelham off the boards. As Norris looking for the loose puck. As battle in the neutral zone. As off the bench came McPhee to poke that away. As once again the Gulls get into that loose puck first. As Ruiz will get the line and sends it in deep. Out to play it is Gould. Leads it for Carroll. Bryce Carroll finds McPhee. McPhee down the left side in his own zone. Neutral ice now. Can't get by Zwicker, trying to dangle his way. As Carroll pokes it ahead. Up the wall. Here is Carroll. Up to the opposite zone as he gets a piece of Zwicker. 30 seconds to go in the original penalty to the Rage. As here's Greenwood up the boards. He finds Zwicker. Cancer for the Gulls with numbers. Here's Zwicker with Levi. Zwicker will keep it and shoot it, and that will go in. I believe the first shot did find the back of the net, but regardless, the rebound was put in as well. And it is 7-0. That looked to be Adam Levi on the 2-on-1 getting the rebound. As Zwicker had the original shot, it looked like it found the back of the net, but either way, with the 11-11 to go here in the third, it's now 7-0 for the Gulls here on the opening weekend. Puck is dropped. There is Sears. Played through the middle. Sent towards the opposite end. Dando there to pick it up. Dando up the wall looking for Chevry. That'll go past him. Here's Greenwood. Neutral ice. Has the puck. Enters the zone. Here is Sergeant Greenwood. He'll fire it on. That'll go off the stick of Gould. Puck comes free. Here come the Gulls now. Greenwood with it. Gets nudged off the puck by Lewis. Here's Donaldson. Over across for Chevry. And then Chevry nearly gets hit there from Sears, but just avoids it. Here's Greenwood. Puck in the corner. Sears up ahead looking for Cannon, who's on hat-trick watch here, as well as the Bodog. who's out there as well. Here's Greenwood, back in his own zone. Up the boards, turned over as Daniel gets there, but here comes Chevry now, holds it in deep. And on the forecheck is Baldwin. As Gulls have it, knocked out the stick of Cranston, but finds Cannon. Cannon over to Sears, 3-on-2. Here is Sears shooting and off the blocker of Gould. This will cover up. Sears took the pass in the 3-on-1 and dragged and shot it up high, and Gould with the blocker makes the save. As we're about halfway through this third period. Gulls up big on the Rage here at the SMC. Puck dropped. One back. Carroll looking for the loose puck. Up the wall for Price. Back to Simon. Simon has the puck off the boards. Looking to get it in deep. Simon against Dufour. Simon gets there first, but quickly turned over by the Gulls. As here they come. Here is Nordin. As Nordin nearly avoids a hit there from Arsenault. Here's McKinnon now. McKinnon will hold on to it. Into the wall goes the puck as Trudell gives him a shove. Trudell will play the puck off the boards, but Henneberry was right there. Here is Henneberry shooting on the... This goes wide. As here is Simon. Simon with Price, so chip it up ahead. That'll be sent in deep, but that'll be an icing call. With 9:23 to go here in the third. You can sense the frustration here from the Rage. They have not played a great game by any means. Gulls are first on the loose pucks. They would win the battles, and the Rage keep turning the puck over. A bad recipe against a good team like this. As Simon against Calvert for the face-off, one back by the Rage, as Carroll will go up the boards looking for Arsenault, kept in by Ruiz. As Douglas has the puck and gets it there from Simon, this will fall down. Here's Arsenault. Looking to keep the play alive was Ruiz, just for a moment. Ruiz plays it back for Cannon, as Cannon finds his teammate Kennedy. Up for Douglas, here come the Gulls, but played through the middle, but Baldwin gets a stick on it. Douglas gets right back. Douglas will fire one, just fans on it in the slot. Here's Price, turns it over once again. An issue all night for the Rage, as here is Ruiz off the D-to-D pass. Return feed for Kennedy. He'll shoot one so it's off the shin pad of Carroll once again. Another block. As one bright spot for the Rage today has been Bryce Carroll, as he's been able to block lots of shots. Loose puck comes free. Norris will chip out the wall, but it's going to be turned over. Calvert down low for Cannon. 8.5 to go here in the third. Cannon sends it in deep, looking for Douglas. Finds him. Douglas up the boards. Here is Kennedy. Return pass for Douglas, shooting, just goes wide. Ruiz pinching in, has the puck. Shea Ruiz, only at time on the blue line. Finds Henneberry. Here is Kennedy, pinching through. Back up ahead for Cannon, off of his stick. Cannon still has it. Back for Kennedy. Kennedy on the half ball, and deep for Calvert. Calvert hit by Lewis, but still able to maintain possession for a moment. Puck comes free. Bourgogne can't get to the loose puck. Here's Kennedy. Finds Douglas. Douglas will dangle his way through. Here's Douglas, shot up high, stopped by Gould. As rebound in the slot. Poked ahead, but not out. Bourgogne gets another whack at it, but can't clear once again. Lewis looking for the loose puck as Calvert has possession. Here is Zwicker with some space. Pokes it free, but Norris able to get the puck up ahead. As here's McPhee. Rage can finally clear and change. As McPhee will get the red line and dump it in deep right onto Esbaugh, who will try and play it, but the referee blew the whistle right away. 7.5 to go. 7-0 is the score here at the SMC. St. Margaret Center would be what I'm referring to there with that abbreviation. Mayo out for the face-off against Jollymore. Puck is dropped, going back for Dando. Dando will fire one on off the shin pad of Zwicker. Here's Carroll. Bryce Carroll will pinch his way through towards the middle. Intercepted by the Gulls defense. Is kept in by Dando. Dando's shot is blocked. Here's Greenwood now. Greenwood out of the corner. Dando looks to fire that one, but he can't get that on his stick. Back to retrieve is Carroll. He'll go up the boards. Puck on the wall. Chevry has it. Poked up ahead. Puck comes loose for Zach Mayo. Mayo will shoot one off the side of the cage as Esbaugh might have gotten a piece of that. Here come the Gulls once again. Is making his way through is Mason Dufour. Dufour sent it towards the opposite zone as Dando can't get to the loose puck. Pass in front there. ends up top for Pelham. Pelham will shoot one low, looking for the tip. Rebounds there for Zwicker off the side of the cage. 6.5 to go now. This here's Zwicker of a backhander. And that will be gloved down by Goulds. And that will stop play. There was 6.5 to go in the third period. Cranston back out there, looking to get his hat-trick goal. Puck dropped. Sears in deep, but Norris had to intercept. Here's Trudell, looking for the loose puck. Up the wall, as the Gulls can't clear. Here's Ruiz. Ruiz will send it back towards the opposite zone. That's a play to Gould, leaves it for Norris. Norris behind his own net. Turned over once again as Ruiz. Puck is bouncing on him as he gets hit by Arsenault. Puck comes loose there. There is Henneberry. Henneberry through the middle. Nearly picked off by Crawford, but Cranston gets there. As Cranston gets hit from Simon. Gulls have possession. Here comes Sears, but nudged off the puck by Trudell. Simon pokes it up for Arsenault. Through the middle looking for Crawford, but turned over by Sears. They'll circle back. Grayson Sears will circle it back. Looking for Henneberry, but it's going to be turned over. Here is Crawford looking for Simon, but he couldn't get the puck to him. Comes free for Lewis, the blue line. Lewis fumbles the puck as he had Sears right on his neck. As Simon hits Sears in the wall. Here come the Gulls. Pelham over to Cranston, but he couldn't handle that pass. Looking for the hat trick is number 9 in goal. Pass to the middle there, looking for Sears. They'll go off his thick and wide. Cranston back to Sears. Up top for Kennedy. Kennedy pass, but nobody was home. As changing was Greenwood, but he makes the play. Here's Greenwood off the bench towards the goal. Backhand shot, scores. Greenwood off the bench makes it 8-0. As nobody was there to cover number 4 in black, and he made his way through with ease. That will be 8 goals for the Gulls. Puck is dropped. Off the face-off, here's Greenwood. He just scored the goal to make it 8-0. 5 minutes to go here in the third. Here is Jollymore. Jollymore has the puck. Will weave his way through, but knocked away by Dando. Here's Greenwood. Shot, this goes wide. Loose puck, something deep. Dando looking for it. Up the wall. Greenwood pinching in, keeps the play alive. Falls down in the process. As here is Nordine. Hit there into the boards by Lewis. As Nordine looking for it again as he gets hit once more by Price this time. As here is a shot from the point, tipped and saved by Gould. With 4:22 to go, be another whistle. Gulls having a great showing to start the year. 18 goals combined between yesterday and today so far. As we'll redo that face-off. They lost a lot of firepower as Haverstock, Odell, and Cooper Strong all graduated to the max in the U18 Major League. We're up in Ottawa right now. They're having a great showing at the Senators Showcase in the nation's capital. I believe they played in the semifinals this morning. Not sure how that went. As it's going to be turned over. McPhee looking for Chevry. Chevry off the wall, picked up by Calvert. Calvert has the puck in his own zone. Spins off a check. Up the wall. As here is Trudell out for Douglas, but that's going to be offside off the turnover. Less than 4 minutes remain now here in the third. But I'll finish my thought. They had a lot of firepower moving on to the U18 Major League, but seems like they're A-OK as they always seem to be in the mix. So the Gulls here in Tassa, a great development program of the Tassa Ducks. As they are a consistent threat every single season. Last year did not go their way in their terms as they lost in the bronze medal game to the Bandits. A couple suspensions in the provincial tournament led to a disappointing finish for them. And of course, it was the Warewell Bombers who won the province last season. As Henneberry will play back on his own net. Henneberry will try and spin off a check from Simon. Puck comes free for Calvert. Lokua Calvert up the middle. Finds Cannon, but off his stick. As put up ahead for Dufour. Dufour turned over. Here's Simon. Up ahead looking to spring his teammate Donaldson, but that will go off his stick. And Donaldson against Ruiz looking for the loose puck. Puck is picked up by Calvert. Douglas now with the puck. Douglas up ahead looking to find Cannon, and he will. Cannon enters his zone on the right side, puts the brakes on the half wall. And so look to send it in deep. Picked up by Lewis. 2:40 to go here in the third. Lewis looking to clear. Up the middle is Cannon. We'll send it right back down deep. Lewis back to retrieve it. Lewis up for Bourgogne. Bourgogne up the middle, turned over as Gulls are offside, but able to stay onside on his own entry. Less than 2.5 to go now. Here is Price up the middle looking for Bourgogne. Picked off once again. Another bad turnover for the Rage. Seems to be the story of this game. Here is Zwicker. Zwicker enters the zone. Through the middle. Over across. As pass towards the goal. Just goes wide. Looking for the tip in front there was Jack Zwicker. Looking for his 4th goal of the season. That would have been his 3rd. He had 2 goals last night in Dartmouth. Price looking to clear. Zell escaped the zone. Kennedy will send it right back towards the opposite end, but picked off by Crawford. As Dando looking to clear. Bellum plays it towards Carroll. He'll back it in the neutral ice. 1.5 to go now. Here's Kennedy. Up the middle. Puck comes free. Here comes Bowen Cranston looking for the hat trick. It's taken down. Cranston still has it. Pass in front there for Zwicker. Save from Gould. Nice save there from 00. Chance save for Cranston. And that's 3 goals for the Bodog. Back-to-back hat tricks to start his U15 major career. You put the Bodog in hitting hockey. Makes no difference. He's still going to score goals. On the 40th shot of the game for the Gulls, they make it 9-0 here at the SMC. So we'll drop the puck at center ice. Here comes Cranston looking for more. Cranston over to Sears, back to Cranston. And that was nearly a highlight reel. As here is Greenwood. Puck poked up ahead. Cranston has it. Sends it in deep. Looking for Sears, will find him. Sears spins off a check. Player taken down. As 1 minute to go now in the third. Here is McPhee. Up the middle looking for Chevry off of his skate. Puck comes straight for Dufour. Another turnover for the Rage. Puck behind the net. Dufour with 50 seconds to go. We'll play it up the wall. Puck comes free for Cranston. Here comes the Bodog. 3-on-1 with Sears and Levi. Cranston will hold on to it and shoot one. That just goes over the net. That would have been his 4th goal of the game. And 7th on the year as Greenwood gets a piece of Chevry on the... As here's Sears. Sears up high. Just goes off the helmet. 30 seconds to go now. Here's Greenwood. Greenwood will fire one on. It's going to be locked on the way through. It's Trudell looking for a loose puck. Poked up ahead. Here's Cranston. Up ahead for Sears all alone and tight as Gould makes the save. With 19 seconds to go. A great shift from this Cranston-Sears line. As well as Levi. 41-14 of the shots right now. 9-0 is the score. Owen Cranston with the hat trick. An unbelievable start to his career. He scored over 100 goals last year for the Chebucto Atlantics, and now he's got 6 in 2 games to start off his career in Bantam. As Nardine in there for the face-off against Simon. Puck dropped. As up the face-off, puck towards the goal. 10 seconds remaining. Henneberry has the puck in neutral ice. CDD pass for Ruiz. This will circle back in his own zone. Flips it up through the middle, and that's going to do it for this one. So the Gulls remain perfect to start the year. Back-to-back shutouts for Wyatt Esbaugh and Landon Rogerson last night. 19 goals in 2 games. The Gulls have set the standard in this league to start the year. Rage fall to 0-2. That's going to do it for our coverage of this one. My name is Mason Denike with